This is a true story, one of the most horrifying and mysterious true stories that has ever been heard. The Dyatlov Pass incident. In January 1959, at the height of the Cold War, 9 young students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, aged between 20 and 30, set out for the Ural Mountains. They were all experienced hikers and skiers, but none of them were prepared for what was about to happen. Their goal was to reach Mount Adordan, and this journey was supposed to be a 200-mile adventure for the 9 students. In early February, the group set up their tents in the Kolat Sayakal region. In the native Mansi language, this area is translated as the Mountain of Death. After weeks of silence, their parents and the university began searching for these 9 students, but no one saw them alive again. Their daily notes and camera footage left in the tent revealed clues about their last moments in the Mountain of Death. Weeks later, researchers discovered that their tent had been completely torn, and their bodies were scattered widely in the surrounding areas. Unfortunately, these 7 men and 2 women all had a bitter and mysterious death in the Ditlov Pass. Authorities attributed the cause of death to an unknown and uncontrollable force of nature. Some of the bodies had injuries that appeared as if they had been hit by a car, but there were no signs of violence other than that. The strange thing was that only their footprints were found, and no signs of animals and other intruders were observed. The distance between the footprints indicated that they were walking at a normal pace at the scene of the incident. It took more than 2 months to find all the hikers' bodies. Initially, 2 bodies were found near a cedar tree, almost naked in temperatures as low as -40 degrees Celsius. Some of the bodies were wearing the clothing of the other hikers. A few days later, more bodies were found, wearing clothing in various stages of dress, as if they were trying to escape from something horrifying. Even stranger, all 9 hikers suffered unexplainable injuries, internal injuries, broken ribs, fractures, and skin discoloration. Finally, after 2 months and an increase in temperature, the search team managed to find the last bodies buried under 4 meters of snow. An unknown force had caused severe injuries to the victims, chests and skulls. 2 of the victims had no eyes, and another had mysteriously lost their tongue and lips. For unknown reasons, traces of radioactive material were found on some of their clothing. The families of the victims noticed that their loved one's skin had turned orange, and their hair had grayed during the funeral ceremony. Since then, no one has been able to explain what caused the deaths of these young hikers, although various theories have been put forward for the Ditlov Pass incident. The first theory suggested an attack by extraterrestrials, while the second theory proposed deaths at the hands of a Yeti. Several more theories have emerged, but these 2 were the most significant and intriguing. In 2019, on the 60th anniversary of the Ditlov Pass incident, a television program called Search for the Unknown shared this strange story. The program host mentioned a document indicating that Soviet investigators were aware of the hikers' deaths by February 6, but apparently they didn't find the tent until February 26. Isn't that strange? According to National Geographic, the Soviet bureaucracy declared the case closed in silence. Recently, Russian authorities have reopened the investigation. Eyewitnesses who were also hikers claimed that on the night of the incident, they saw orange lights in the area. Residents of the area, meteorologists, and soldiers have confirmed the sighting of these strange orange lights. Some relatives of the victims believed that unidentified military experiments had caused the deaths of these individuals. Today, after 62 years, scientists are offering new explanations for the Dyatlov Pass incident. Recently, National Geographic has claimed that science has found an answer using computer-simulated models of avalanches. These models oddly draw from the animated movie Frozen and car crash simulations. 2 Swiss researchers used the algorithm from the movie Frozen to simulate avalanches and collision models. They discovered that a small avalanche, just 60 feet long, could have caused the traumatic injuries seen on the Dyatlov Pass victims. However, this type of avalanche is extremely rare, especially at a specific location, precisely during that winter night. The factors of the incident are more precise and unreal than previously thought. Further explanations suggest that the hiker's state of undress may be a result of the paradoxical undressing phenomenon. In this scenario, due to the severe hypothermia and despite the cold environment, an individual removes their clothing because they perceive an intense internal heat. The traces of radioactivity on the clothing could potentially result from lanterns containing thorium. It's possible that animals may have fed on the bodies, leading to the disappearance of the victims' eyes and tongues, catching experienced hikers off guard, unaware that the seemingly gentle scope beneath their campsite was the main culprit in the incident. Was it a rare and small avalanche that caused the deaths of the hikers? No one knows for sure. In the end, as a researcher named Alexander Puzrin concludes in the final video, the Ditlov Pass incident is a story of courage and friendship.